How's it going, guys? Welcome back. So in today's video is an interesting one because I'm going to tell you things not to do, some of the reasons why you should not do them. But don't worry, I also have some suggestions of things that you actually should be doing, like probably having Arnold Palmer when it's like getting really hot outside. I guess it's basically summertime now, isn't it? Yeah. Man, it seems like spring just like flew right by. Arnold Palmer, it's so good. So in today's video, I want to make this because this is an issue that I saw recently. Now, the positive side of this issue is that I did make quite a bit of money because of it, although I did not know it was going to happen. Let's start out with that. So if you watched my post double XP investing video where I said like the best things to invest in post double XP, if you followed that video and you bought dies and stuff like I said to, then you probably made a ridiculous amount of money. I think at the time of the video, the Aurora dies were just over 100 million. Soul dies were something right around 200 million. So if you bought into those that time, you definitely made a killing, because right now, Soul dies are just under $1 billion, and Aurora dies are closing in on 500 million. So that is the good side of it, is that if you did follow my last investing video, you definitely made a lot of money. Now here is the downside. The downside is, why are these things going for so much money? So if you were to look at the Soul die, if you click examine, it shows 450 million, and that is the GE mid right now. So if you're like, wow, how are they selling for almost $1 billion? The reason why is because right now there is a lot of price manipulation when it comes to the Aurora dies and the Soul dies. So they are being bought out and a whole bunch of artificial prices being posted on a place that you can probably guess where that place is, where they usually post fake prices. And that is really just pushing the value up and up and up and up. The issue is, though, is that both of these dies are things that we know do come back into the game. So if you were to start investing in these right now, it might not be a great idea, especially with the Soul die. The Soul die being almost $1 billion is ridiculously overpriced for that die, especially something that's going to be re-released again. So I would really highly recommend you do not buy that. If you were to buy into the Soul dies or the Aurora dies, just understand that they could go up a bit more because, like I said, the manipulation is going on right now, so they could keep going up, and they could also completely just crash and fall down in half or less of their value at any given time. That is kind of how it goes when the manipulation happens, is they just keep manipulating the price up until they sell them all off, and then you are left over with a whole bunch of items that you can't get rid of. So just keep that in mind. The other thing too is, I'm sorry if this is you, by the way. I am not trying, the person's name has nothing to do with this. I just wanted to show a Black Party hat because I don't currently own a Black Party hat. The Black Party hat is another really bad investment right now, and the reason why that one is because we are getting closer and closer to the holidays again. And I know we've got some time before the holidays happen, but the announcements for the holidays do happen like a month or two out before the actual event happens. And we are getting closer and closer and closer to the time when the Black Party hat is probably going to be re-released again. Because if you were to look at the Runescape wiki and look at the Black Party hat, they did announce previously that it will be coming back. So if you have spent a ridiculous amount of money on a Black Party hat, it may be a good idea to sometime in the future sell them off. I did have 2 of them that I bought for 13.5 billion each, and I did already sell those off a while ago, and I made a pretty good amount of money. And it really sucks because the fact that it does look like such a good hat, and I do really want to add one to the collection so I have all of them and not just missing the Black Party hat. But unfortunately, though, if I was to buy it right now, it'd probably be a really bad idea because when they come back around, then you are likely to see the price to drop dramatically. And that's also due to not only because a lot of them will be coming into the game from the event, but also to that most people did not read the Runescape wiki and have no idea that it is being re-released. They are maybe used to other things that did not see a re-release. And that actually brings us to another item, actually 2 more items that actually could be good investments right now. And that is the Easter egg and the Christmas scythe, both of which are really low in price right now. The Easter egg was recently at like over 1,400 million, which is why the GE mid still shows 1.4 billion. I recently bought some Easter eggs for about $1 billion. I actually think I might have even got a couple of them below that. So that is a pretty good investment, honestly, although when it comes to items like Easter egg, there's usually not really anything specific that would make that item itself rise up. It's like, you know, hardly ever are people going to be like, oh my god, it's Easter egg. Like that's not usually why they rise. Why they usually rise though is because all other rares start rising, and then people will start buying into these because they are rares. So we have not seen Easter egg rise right now, which is kind of weird actually. But we have seen the price of party hats rise significantly. Like for example, this blue party hat I've got on right now, I bought this one for 67 billion. I actually ended up buying 4 of them for 67 billion each. And that was during the time when the party hats were like seeing a really big dip. They kind of stabilized after that around like 75, 77 or whatever. And I did not sell them off because that really isn't a great profit. But now blues are almost 100 billion each. And that is also due to the fact of bonds being so high in price. If you look at the price of bonds right now, they're almost 140 billion at the time of making this video. And most players don't actually go and earn the money to buy a party hat. They typically will just buy bonds and then buy a party hat. So the price of bonds rising significantly has a lot to do with the price of hats. So whenever you see bonds go up, hats will go up. If you see bonds go down, hats will go down. Now it was just really weird though that we saw Easter eggs go down during that time, and the Christmas scythe is also really low during the time. And the Christmas scythe is actually a pretty rare item. It's not like something that there's like 100,000 of them in the game or something like that. There's not actually that many in the game. So to see Christmas scythe at only 1.6 on the GE mid, I'm not sure what the actual price is. I haven't checked that one out, but I know that it is right around that or less. That makes the Easter egg and the Christmas scythe a pretty good investment, because if they randomly do decide to follow the price of bonds like rares usually do, then you'll see them skyrocket up. My only real theory as to why those two are going, mainly the Easter egg is going down so much, is because most likely people who had a ton of Easter eggs, and there are players out there that have like hundreds of them or thousands of them, they will sometimes sell them off to buy a different rare, and with the party hats rising so much, they may have just like dumped them into the market and then bought hats. And since not a lot of people buy Easter eggs, putting a couple hundred Easter eggs into the market actually does pretty dramatically affect the price. So that easily could be the reason why they haven't gone up yet, which means that when that supply is gone, then they could just spike back up. There was a point when Easter eggs were down to like 500 million or less, and that's when I bought a lot of mine. So we do know they can go back up significantly. They've also been far higher than this price in the past. So anyway, you get the idea. It's not a bad investment. The last thing too is going to be the golden party hat. So you see I've got 121 of them right here. I have about 500 golden party hats. I'm just going to be honest with you on this. I'm not trying to pump up the price of golden party hat. Honestly, I couldn't do it if I wanted to, because there are so many golden party hats in the game. Many players made hundreds of party hats on just that one player. So trying to like buy them all out is just not realistic. So just letting you know, I do have a bunch of them, not trying to make you move the price up, because I know that people look at like videos like this and they're like, he's trying to tell them to buy them up. No, I'm really not actually. I've actually held on to these, my golden party hats, the 500 I have. I've had them since basically the release, and I haven't bought any more, and I've only had those, and I paid like 250 to 280 million each, so I've lost my butt on them. So I have nothing to gain from this really. But anyway, the reason why I'm suggesting a golden party hat actually is a pretty good investment right now is because they have been creeping up in value slowly over the past few months and have not seen a dip. And so usually when the golden party hat starts to see a bit of a rise, we see it to go back down like some more money too. But we have not seen that dip in a while, which leads me to think that it actually is a good growing investment now. I think right now the GE mid shows them at like, let's see, the GE mid shows like 166, but I know that the actual price for them is like something around 175-ish. So once again, with the price of bonds going up really high, and now the real party hats, if you want to call them that, are going up astronomically, people are looking into other rare investments. I saw a lot of people buying into purple Santas, a lot of people buying into orange Halloweens. Golden party hat is definitely one that I'm sure people are picking up right now, which is why it is 10 million over the mid and why we're not seeing any dips in price. So Is it a good investment? It actually is a really good investment. And also, just to let you know, for a very long time there, even though I bought a ton of them, I didn't tell people to buy golden party hats because I was like, yeah, we're not going to see the rise for a long time. So I have made plenty of videos where I told you not to buy them. But in this video and the last post double XP video, I did mention them as a pretty good pickup. And if you did buy them back in that post double XP, you also probably already made 30 million each or so, because I think they were around like 140, 130-ish during that time. So we have already seen some increase from then. So yeah, it just keeps happening. It turns out golden party hat now might actually be a good investment. Anyway, guys, that is what I've got for you here. These Aurora dies and soul dies, by the way, I have already sold off all of my Auroras, souls, and dice, or sorry, ice. I always buy those every single Christmas event. I buy hundreds of each, and I have already sold off my investment of them. This is all I own, and the only reason why I own these is because I was planning on using them. I have a whole bunch of tectonic pieces and malevolent pieces I've just thought about dying, but I just have this wish that they're eventually going to release Trim Masterwork dies, and who knows, we probably will never see it, because it doesn't seem like they want to give us too many armor dies that actually things that we actually use. It's always confusing to me why we have mostly like gear that people don't really use, and that is what's dyeable. They only recently made it so you could dye the necromancy stuff, which is a good start because turns out that's gear we use. But until then, we just have a whole bunch of crap that is cosmetic only, because who is going to go use malevolent or basic Serenic or whatever? Like, you're never going to do that. I mean, or elite tectonic. Who even uses elite tectonic now? It's so very few uses. It's so confusing why we don't have like better dyed things. But anyway, guys, I really hope this video helps you out. I know that a lot of you guys look at my channel for good investing ideas and what to put your money into. The last thing I will say though is that if you are looking to invest into things, you should only really spend money on investing into things if you already have plenty of leftover money for flipping, because doing your active flipping is going to earn more money than if you were to put your money into these things for the most part. I mean, even with the soul dies going from 200 million to like $1 billion, if you had a bank of like, let's say 2 billion, and you were to buy 10 of the soul dies at the time, then you made like what, like 8 billion? Gosh, man, the soul dies really did a lot of money, didn't they? You could have turned your 2 billion into more than 8 billion profit by the last, like the last post double XP video I made. So I would definitely always prioritize your money into the flipping, but any leftover money you're not using, or if you're just not really an active player, then you can put that into investments, and that's the way you want to do it. Anyway, guys, I really hope this video helps you out. If you did make some good money profits from the post double XP video, put it in the comments down below. I'd like to hear you guys' success. That's what I'm trying to help you out. I already have more money than I'll ever need. I don't really care anymore, but it's really fun to help you guys out and to see your success and everything. That is why we made that Discord server, 12,000 members. Love to have you in there. Feel free to join. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.